You see that persistent conflict gnawing at your thoughts, robbing you of focus? That lingering frustration that obsesses you, perhaps sparked by a thoughtless remark, a minor inconvenience, or an unforeseen incident? Imagine a world where you could pay a sum, any sum, to instantly dissolve that tension, to free yourself from its grip. If such an immediate liberation from mental anguish were possible, would you seize the opportunity? Would you invest in that profound sense of relief? The answer, if you value your well-being, should be a resounding yes. Then do it. Make that crucial investment. Buy your peace of mind, and genuinely let the cost be irrelevant. Allow me to clarify this seemingly radical proposition. Your true capital, your most invaluable and irreplaceable resource, is not merely the money in your bank account or the assets you possess. Far more precious are your time, your unwavering focus, and your finite wellspring of mental energy. Every single day, you are allocated a limited budget of these three essential resources. Just as you guard your financial savings, you must protect this mental capital fiercely. It's the engine that drives your productivity, fuels your creativity, enhances your relationships, and underpins your overall emotional health and resilience. A clear mind allows for better decision-making, improved concentration, and a greater sense of control over your life. The moment you step beyond the sanctuary of your home, or even when you engage with the digital world, countless opportunities to deplete this vital capital present themselves, often subtly and insidiously. The neighbor who doesn't return your polite greeting. Instead of letting a flicker of annoyance ignite into a burning resentment about their rudeness or your perceived slight, simply acknowledge the observation and move on. Your peace is more valuable than their manners. The aggressive motorist who abruptly cuts you off in traffic. The immediate surge of adrenaline, the curse muttered under your breath, the internal fantasy of confrontation, these are all drains on your mental reserves. Let them pass. Mentally wish them a safe journey, if only to release yourself from the emotional entanglement. Your safety and composure are paramount. The passive-aggressive comment subtly delivered by a colleague. Do you dissect it for hours? Rehearse witty comebacks? Allow it to cloud your interaction with them for the rest of the day. Choose not to engage, not to internalize. Your professional energy is for your work, not for office politics. The salesperson who is overtly rude or unhelpful. While it's tempting to demand satisfaction or engage in a verbal joust, recognize that this individual's behavior often reflects their own internal struggles. Make a mental note not to frequent that establishment again, and consciously release the incident. Your shopping experience is not worth sacrificing your inner calm. Buy your peace of mind. Why is this imperative? Because the vast majority of people around you are silently battling profound internal struggles that you can scarcely fathom. They are often stressed, ridden with anxiety, feeling perpetually behind in their own lives, or grappling with personal pain. Their outward negativity, their abruptness, their slights are frequently nothing more than symptoms of their own suffering and lack of self-regulation. Do not, under any circumstances, allow their disease to become your own. The true, insidious danger lies in heedlessly expending our precious mental and emotional energy on these utterly futile skirmishes. We exhaust ourselves in a relentless battle against windmills, investing significant emotional labor in situations that ultimately hold no real significance to our core values or long-term happiness. We become fatigued, our reserves depleted by battles that were never truly worth waging, leaving us vulnerable. When life inevitably presents a genuine challenge, a demanding career opportunity, a serious family crisis, a complex personal project that truly requires the absolute best of our intellect and spirit. We find ourselves with no reserves left. We are already tired, burned out, and incapable of rising to the occasion because our energy has been squandered on trivialities. This depletion impacts our productivity, decision-making, and even our relationships. It is profoundly undignified to spend one's finite existence with a mind perpetually occupied and agitated by minor vexations and insignificant slights. Just as you meticulously select your closest friends, choose your enemies, or rather, the battles you will engage in with extreme caution and deliberate discernment. The uncomfortable truth is that well over 90% of the conflicts that consume our mental bandwidth are mere illusions. Battles of ego where even a superficial victory leaves you feeling drained, bitter, and ultimately a loser in the grander scheme of life.
The philosophical perspective, opportunity cost, and Stoic wisdom. Economists have a precise term for this phenomenon, opportunity cost. It represents the value of the next best alternative that you forego when you make a choice. Even if you win a petty argument, successfully proving your point or defending your ego, you must pause and genuinely ask yourself, what was the true cost of this hollow victory? The cost in this context is not monetary. It is the invaluable time, focus, and emotional energy that you could have invested far more productively and meaningfully elsewhere. It's all the better things you could have been doing with that finite energy, making tangible progress on a significant personal or professional project, immersing yourself in quality time with your children or loved ones, learning a new skill, engaging in a creative pursuit, or simply enjoying the profound peace of undisturbed silence and contemplation. Your illusionary triumph in a trivial conflict has effectively cost you an opportunity for genuine peace, personal growth, and authentic progress. This profound idea, while resonating with modern psychology, is by no means new. Over 2 millennia ago, the revered Stoic philosophers, figures like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius and the former slave Epictetus, placed this principle at the very heart of their life discipline. Stoicism, founded by Zeno of Citium, is a practical philosophy focused on living a virtuous life in harmony with reason and nature. They taught us the critical distinction between what is truly within our control, our judgments, our reactions, our thoughts, our actions, and what definitively is not, the actions of others, external events, circumstances beyond our influence. When confronted with an insult, a criticism, or a provocation, the Stoic training offers a powerful two-pronged approach. If the criticism contains a kernel of truth, no matter how harshly delivered, embrace it. See it as an invaluable gift. Thank the person, internally, if not externally, for illuminating a weakness or flaw within yourself that you can now consciously work to correct and improve. This transforms a potential affront into an opportunity for growth. If the criticism is demonstrably false or arises from malice, why should it trouble you? The person is not truly addressing you, the authentic individual, but rather a distorted, often negative image or projection they have constructed of you in their own mind. This is their internal struggle, their distorted perception. Let them battle against that phantom image, that misconception, in their own mental arena. Do not invite their delusion into your sanctuary. Consider the timeless anecdote of Socrates. One day, a man publicly insulted him with a barrage of vile accusations in the bustling marketplace. The philosopher, renowned for his wisdom, simply continued walking, seemingly unfazed, without even bothering to turn his head. A shocked disciple, witnessing this blatant disrespect, exclaimed, "Master, How can you tolerate such outrageous insults? Do you not feel a pang of offense? Socrates, with his characteristic calm and profound insight, replied, "If a donkey were to kick me, would I feel compelled to sue the donkey?" His point was that the man, by acting without reason, was akin to an animal, and therefore his words held no more personal weight than a donkey's kick. This approach is not a display of weakness. It is, in fact, the embodiment of profound strategic intelligence. Let me be clear. This philosophy is not an exhortation to abandon your fundamental rights, to become a passive doormat, or to tolerate genuine injustice. There are indeed moments when standing up for what is right, for your dignity, or for the vulnerable is absolutely essential. Defend what is truly fundamental, what impacts your core values or the well-being of others. However, the crucial understanding is that an overwhelming 90% of the situations that typically irritate, annoy, and provoke us are not matters of fundamental rights or deep ethical principles. They are, almost without exception, ego battles, petty squabbles over perceived slights, control, or the need to be right. The truly wise individual is not the one who triumphantly wins every single war, but rather the one who possesses the profound discernment and self-control to know precisely which wars are simply not worth fighting. The ability to calmly utter, "You are right," or "I apologize," or even the supreme act of saying nothing at all, is not a confession of weakness or defeat. On the contrary, it is the most formidable display of strength imaginable. The unwavering mastery of oneself, one's emotions, and one's reactions. This self-control is a cornerstone of Stoic virtue. Therefore, the next time you feel the familiar surge of anger, irritation, or indignation rising within you over what is, in truth, a triviality, pause, take a conscious breath, and deliberately ask yourself this transformative question. Does this particular situation, this momentary friction, truly merit a single precious parcel of my finite mental capital, my time, my focus, my energy? The honest answer, if you are truly committed to protecting your inner sanctuary, will almost invariably be no. Make it your unwavering practice to erect an unbreachable fortress around your mind. Do not, under any circumstances, grant arbitrary access to just anyone to enter this sacred space and sow discord, chaos, or negativity. In the increasingly agitated, chaotic, and demanding world in which we navigate our lives, your mind remains the singular, ultimate sanctuary that you truly, unequivocally control. Protect it with every ounce of your being. Guard it as your most valuable possession. Buy your tranquility, your peace of mind, even if it feels like the highest price, because without a shadow of a doubt, it is the single most important and rewarding investment you will ever make in your entire life.